Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about what's going to happen in September 2024 for you. And I have 4 groups that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, and this will be group number 4. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then just head down to the description box below and find the timestamp for your particular group and click on that, and your reading should appear in front of you. And while you're down there in the description box below, make sure to check out my guide on how to book a personal reading from me. I love doing personal readings for you guys. It's always a pleasure. So please check that out. But let's focus on this reading right here. Choose your group and I'll see you in your reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck. And I'm going to start with some channeling and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1? What's going to happen in September 2024 for group number 1? Okay, you're going to be very busy. You're going to be working a lot. And you know, it's going to take a lot of elbow grease to get to where you want to be. Like, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of motivation to get yourself to the point where, like, I think some of you are maybe building something or kind of getting somewhere in terms of either your career, or maybe you're actually doing something in terms of a house project, or you know, or moving somewhere, or I don't know, but I just feel like some of you have some kind of project going on, or you're building something in your career, that you're trying to go up the ladder in your career, and that this has maybe been taking a long time before you have reached this point. But right at the moment, you still have a lot of work to do. But at the end of September, I feel like things are going to shift, because I feel like you're actually going to see the fruits of your labor. You're going to feel like things that used to be unrealistic are suddenly really realistic. And this is maybe going to feel a little bit overwhelming, because but in a good way. It's a good kind of overwhelming, where it is success, it's victory, it's something that feels really good to finally see that there is actually a place for you where you can take up space. You know, there is like, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, but I feel like it could be that your career is going to take off, but it needs a lot of work. You know, you have to put in a lot of work in order to get to this point. But that sometimes when things take off, it feels a little bit overwhelming. It feels a little bit like, you know, you're not in control over it anymore. Like it's just it has a life on its own. You know, like a plane, you know, like you were like the pilot of the plane, and like right now you're the pilot of the plane at the moment as we speak. You're the pilot, you're the one controlling the plane, you're controlling where it's going, how fast it's going, but then suddenly you're just in the back and you're not controlling the plane anymore, because the plane has just taken off and nobody's at the wheel. And this feels a little bit creepy, but it needs to be done, because you were maybe the one who was on the brakes making sure that the plane wasn't really, you know, so you need to let Jesus take the wheel or whatever, but you know, sometimes it's okay to let somebody else take the course of whatever you're doing and just run with it, because that's how you get somewhere. And I feel like it's gonna feel a little bit scary, that things are a little bit out of your control, but and that you're not calling all the shots anymore, because suddenly somebody else is doing that, or it's being done for you in some way. But this is going to be a good thing. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel like things are actually moving, you know, like things are actually going somewhere, and that you're going to feel like your dream is suddenly becoming very tangible, and it's good. It's a good thing. It's good when the wheel, like when the wheel on the car, you know, like that starts, or the wheel on whatever, like you know, when that starts rolling on its own, you know, that's when you can take a step back and relax and just watch it go, and that's a good thing. And I feel like sometimes, you know, we have to be okay with that sort of development. I feel like that's kind of the development that you're going to be going through, and that you're going to have to feel okay with things being out of your control. So and I also feel like, you know, there's going to be this opportunity to do something where you can choose to do it the right way, by the book, but you can also choose to do it in an original way, where you choose to put your personal little characteristics on top of it, to make it your own, to make it customized you. And you need to do that. You need to make sure that whatever you're doing, whatever this project is, that you put your own, like your own creativity on top of it. I don't know if some of you might be kind of thinking about doing something in terms of singing. I know it's not all of you, because I was kind of mimicking a microphone with my hand there, and I know some of you might have seen something else, but it wasn't that. Yeah, I thought of a microphone, and I don't know if some of you have been thinking about doing something where you speak into a microphone, or where you do some singing or something, and I feel like you just need to go for it, because you know, you only live once, and so if you don't take the chance, well, I don't know if you only live once, but you know, but that's beyond the point. But if you want to do something, do it now, because you know you're gonna regret not trying, because yeah, you have to try. You have to try this, but. With the Knight of Wands reversed, you know what? This is not a good month for hanky panky. You know, not you know, getting laid. It's not going to be hard for you to get laid this month, because you have a very, like, because of the things that you're doing in terms of your career, in terms of, you know, moving or whatever you're doing, like this project that you're doing, it's going to make you confident. You're going to feel like, especially when things are running smoothly, you're going to feel like you're at the top of your game, and this is going to show. People are going to see this when you go out. Like if you go clubbing, people are going to notice that you have this light in your eyes, that you shine, and you know, you're not going to have a hard time getting an invitation, getting an offer. You know, if you're single, if you're single, then like it's the same thing whether you're single or in a relationship. Of course, if you're in a relationship, just you know that there are people out there who's going to find you very attractive, and you're maybe going to get some offers that you don't want because, you know, you're in a relationship. But this might be a good thing still, because it might be nice to get an offer, even if you are in a relationship, just for the sake of your, like, of feeling beautiful, feeling good, feeling confident. But of course, I don't think any of you would want or would even feel tempted to do anything if you're in a relationship. But if you're not in a relationship, just make sure that whoever you get an invitation from, and if you are tempted to say yes to it because maybe you find this person, you know, attractive, make sure that that person invites you out on a proper date, because, you know, it's not like, if they're not interested in that, then, you know, they're not good for anything. So make sure to tell that person that from the get-go, that you're not interested in anything before you get a date where you go out, like, to a restaurant and do something proper, you know, because that's not too much to ask. So okay, I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay. The Three of Swords, it came out reversed, but it actually ended up rolling itself upright. So I feel like it might be both. Make sure that if you're in a relationship, okay, so I feel like there are two things. If you're in a relationship right now, make sure that you are not getting so comfortable with things that actually are bothering you. Because, you know, suffering in silence, it's not good. It's not good for any of you. You need to tell your partner, the person that you're with, you need to tell that person what is bothering you about them, and because that's the only way that they will know that they need to change something. And they will, I feel like if you actually tell this person how you feel, they will try to change it. So, you know, I think you're actually going to feel like it would have been better if you had this discussion a little bit earlier, so that this wouldn't have made you feel this way for so long, you know. So I feel like if there's something, especially if there's something that really makes you feel shitty, maybe about yourself, maybe something that this person says that makes you feel like, you know, that they don't really value you, or that they say some things that makes you actually feel hurt. If they hurt you, of course, you should also think about maybe whether it's worth it to be with somebody who hurts you. But if it's something that can actually be worked out, if it's something that they say that might be just a bad wording, but they keep doing it because they don't know that there's something wrong with it. You know, if there's something, then I think they just need to know that how it makes you feel when this person says something like that. Also, if this person embarrasses you in public, or says something in public that where you feel like this is not what this person is even like when you're not out in public. Like, why is this person acting this way when you're outside, when you're out with other people, but they are so nice and sweet and considerate when you're alone with them? Like, why is this shift? Why do they shift their whole personality? And maybe it frustrates you that nobody really understands why you're with this person, because this person always gives a bad impression to everybody that you know, like to your family and friends, that everybody thinks that this person is an asshole because they say something really ridiculous when they're maybe a little bit nervous, or when they feel uncomfortable or something, that they end up saying something that they regret. But you know, I don't know if they regret it, because maybe they don't even realize that they're doing this, but they need to be told that this is not good. It's like they need to stop doing this, because it makes you embarrassed, and it makes it really hard for you to defend this person to other people. And maybe it's also okay to tell this person that people actually that people in your circle, your friends and family members, that they actually kind of want you to maybe break up with this person. And maybe they need to know that might be the eye-opener for this person, because that's what they need. They really need that. So that's just for those of you who are in a relationship. Don't let things slide if it's something that can actually be fixed by communication. Like but if you're single, then you know, don't settle. That's also the message. Don't settle for somebody who is not. Like, I know that sometimes we can feel a little bit desperate. I have experienced this many times. Like, I've gone out clubbing, and then, you know, if somebody shows me attention, I'm gonna show that person attention even though I don't feel like there is an attraction at all. But you know, it's just, I don't want to let somebody down, and I also feel flattered that the person likes me. But then, you know, I always regretted afterwards that I didn't just say to that person that, you know, it doesn't feel right. There doesn't seem to be very much chemistry here. Like, you know, that sort of thing. That wouldn't be that terrible to say, but I can't say that to a person. Like when I'm sitting right in front of them and they seem to be interested, that, you know, but I feel like this is something that maybe both you and me, like, we both need to try to be a little bit better at rejecting, because it's also like we're wasting their time too. If they are spending their whole evening, their whole night flirting with us, and we can't get ourselves to tell them that it's never going to be anything like that, then, you know, they could have spent all that time on somebody who actually wants them. So maybe, just to be fair to everybody, we need to just let people go, even though they are very, very persistent. And that is a tricky one, to have to, you know, put those boundaries up. But maybe it's just nice to just tell somebody that you feel like it would be a waste of their time. Like, that might be a good way to get the person to feel less rejected, or feel less bad about being rejected, if you make it out as if it's for their own good that you do it. But I don't know if that actually works, because I feel like I have tried something similar before where I couldn't really shake the person off anyway. So it is tricky, but just try to be a little bit better. If you're single, try to be better at rejecting. Don't humor somebody that you know you don't have chemistry with. So okay, 8 of Pentacles. So with the 8 of Pentacles, I think, you know, there will be a lot of work. You're gonna have to work a lot. And this is maybe also gonna, like, I feel like there is, like, it's kind of a tricky one, because this month you're gonna be working hard, you're gonna be busy, you're gonna have a lot of things going on in your life. You're gonna have so much to do, that, you know, love will be like the last priority. It's going to be so long down the priority list that you're not going to really focus on love at all, or you're going to do it very half-heartedly if you do so. And the thing is that it's kind of a shame, because this is actually the month where you have all this sex appeal. And it's kind of like you should really be using this sex appeal. Because I feel like you're going to be shining. You're going to be, you know, it's going to be something. You're going to be glowing. Like, there's something about you that just seems like it's just going to pop. And why is it that correlates completely with other things that makes it so impossible to have both things at once? But maybe it's just not meant to be. Like, maybe in terms of romance and love, maybe it's just better to wait until later, when maybe, because there's also going to be a lot of things happening, possibly also in October, November, December. Like, there's going to be a lot of things happening within your career. So the question is whether it's a good thing that maybe you're going to be so focused on your work that maybe it would just slow you down to find love in this month. Maybe. But it feels like if you want to find somebody, and if you can make time for love, I feel like you have good odds in September. So I feel like you are a magnet. Like, you're very attractive in this month. Not that you're not that in the other months, but it seems like there's something extra. So whether you use it or not, that's up to you. So, and I would completely understand it if you feel too busy, you know. So I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Oh, the star. You're going to be a star this month. And like, yeah, you're going to be glowing. You're going to be shining. You're also going to feel like a newfound hope of there's going to be a new, like, a new thing that, like, it's just going to feel more hopeful, more like you're so close to achieving something. And it's going to feel that way throughout September. It's going to feel like, you know, you're so close. And then at the end of September, it's just going to feel like, yes, now it's happening. Like, yeah. So it's good. But with the 3 of Wands reversed, this might be one of those things like where it's a warning that, you know, when you have it, like when you have conquered this thing, when you're about to achieve your dream, and when you achieve it, make sure that it's not going to be just one conquering, and when you've conquered it, you're going to lose interest in it and just move on to the next challenge. Make sure that you keep going, so that, like, don't get bored with it. You've worked so hard for this, so it's just maybe a reminder that stick to it. You know, don't let all this work just slip through. Like, just let the, like, it's not, yeah, it's just that maybe some of you have a tendency to maybe want to just move on to the next thing. Yeah, so but don't do that, even though it's tempting. So yeah, try to stick to it. And also, like, when things start going a little bit fast, when you feel like you're getting out of control, where you feel like you can't really control the pace of the success anymore, where you feel like things are starting to pick up, you know, it feels scary, but don't feel like you have to just, you know, put the brakes down completely and just say, okay, yeah, now it's out of my control, so I'm gonna retrieve it all back to me, so that I'm just gonna take it all back, you know, because now, like, it's too scary. I'm just gonna take everything back and just, you know, get it back into this box. You know, it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel like you're outside your comfort zone. Don't do something that you're going to regret. You know? Is retrieve the right word, or retract maybe? I don't know. Like, Six of Wands. Like, you're gonna have success. You're gonna have a victory this month. It's gonna be a good month. It's just a little, you know, it's overwhelming. It's a lot, but you know, you're gonna have a great month in terms of your career. It's beautiful, actually, and you have a lot to look forward to. Especially if you're self-employed, or if you're doing something where it's like your own project, something like your self-owned business, something like that. If you have something like that, I feel like this message fits very well to something like that. But if it's something different, then, like, even if it's a job where you, like, where you have a boss, and like that could still make sense, because it might be that whatever you're doing at work right now, it's going to give you a lot of praise. It's going to make you feel like you're very, very valued at your workplace, and that you're going to get a lot of compliments, and you're going to feel like you're doing a very good job, to the point where maybe you're gonna maybe have a promotion or something, and it's gonna feel maybe very good, but it's also gonna have more responsibility to it. So, you know, it's still gonna change the status quo, where you'll feel like, okay, I was kind of getting used to working under these conditions, and that was even that was hard enough, that was enough responsibility. But to have maybe more pay, that's a good thing, but to have more work or more responsibility, but for more pay, like we would have an increased income, that's a good thing. But but it's maybe going to feel overwhelming. And so, but it's going to be a good month for your career, but it's also going to give you a glow. So it seems like you're going to be in your element this month. You're going to have a lot of luck coming through in terms of your own, like it's going to really enhance your light. Your light is going to be shining very brightly, if that makes sense. I don't know, but it definitely feels like a good month. Exciting things happening. If you have a YouTube channel, I feel like there could be an increase in people watching your videos, which is a little bit scary, because suddenly it's going to take off and you're going to feel like that's like, this is maybe overwhelming, maybe a little bit too much, and maybe you're going to feel like you're not in control over the pace of how the channel is growing, or something like that. I know it's not going to resonate with all of you, but I feel like, if it gets to a point where you have a lot of new viewers, don't feel tempted to just, throw in the towel right when it starts becoming serious, to just want to delete the channel or something, because you feel like suddenly it's just starting to become too much of a thing, if that makes sense. And you don't want it to be like a thing, if that I don't know if that makes sense. But I know that it's going to be different for all of you, but it's just that don't feel tempted to do something that you're going to regret later, because you're going to do it for the wrong reasons. You're going to do it because of fear, fear of success, fear of victory, fear of actually, getting somewhere, and try to conquer that fear. Make sure that you make that fear your bitch, and yeah. I'm going to end the reading here. I know I didn't speak a lot about love. I feel like many of you are not going to have the time for it. And I think, that's a good priority, to focus on your career, because there's going to be a lot of things happening. It's going to be exciting. So, who cares about love, really? Okay, a lot of you do, I know. But, this is just so big. It feels like it's bigger than you, it's bigger than me, it's bigger than all of us. Like everything that we do that actually puts like a mark on the world, like that stuff is so important, that it needs to be a first priority. Yeah, I'm gonna end the reading here. So thank you for watching, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Medieval Cats Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2? What's going to happen in September 2024 for group number 2? Okay, I'm sensing that you're going to get an offer, but it's not going to be an offer you can't refuse. you know. It's going to be an offer that you probably want to refuse when you get it, and you're going to be tempted to just say no right away. I'm kind of sensing that you need to be a little bit more thoughtful when it comes to this offer. Take some time to think about it, because it might not be that bad. It's not as bad as it comes out. Like when you get it, like when you hear it the first time, it doesn't sound very appealing. But I think the more you think about it, the more it starts sounding a little bit better. And so I think you should give this a chance. I don't know what kind of offer this is, or I know what it is, but I feel like it's different for all of you. I feel like for some of you it's a love offer. For others of you it might be a job offer. For others of you, if you like, it could be like a house offer or something. But it feels like whatever this offer is, you know, you can say maybe. You can say that you have to think about it. And nobody's going to feel offended by that answer. And people are going to understand that you need time. And so, yeah, if it's a love offer, I feel like some of you might... I don't know why you're going to find this offer not as appealing as I feel like it actually is a good offer. I feel like the person who's going to give you a love offer, if it's a love offer, the person is actually a good person. And I feel like there's no red flags. So that's a good thing. And I usually see the red flags pretty strongly. So that usually comes through every time I do a love reading. That seems to be the only thing that comes through. So there's no red flags. This person is actually genuine and seems to give you this offer out of a lot of thought. You know, it took them a lot of time to think about this, think about how to go about this, how to tell you this, how to word it correctly. And, you know, this person has put a lot of energy and effort into, you know, also building up courage to tell you this. So, you know, I feel like maybe this person deserves to at least get an answer that is not just like a ringing no, you know, like it's just that's gonna break their heart and their spirit. Like they're gonna, like it's just a better message to give this person, to just say, you know, I need time to think about it. Even if you have already made up your mind, it's just so that they know that at least there was a chance, you know, that they just didn't just, you know, that they weren't just imagining things, or, you know, even though they might have been, but, you know, it's just it might be good to validate some of their feelings and maybe tell this person that, like, at least give this person some credit for their courage and stuff like that. I don't know if that's gonna be a slap in the face to have you kind of pity them for this, but that so try not to do that. But the thing is that I feel like this person could be someone that you could spend the rest of your life with. And maybe that's a scary thing. Maybe that's why you're going to feel like you want to say no to this person. Maybe because it's too serious. Maybe because it feels like this person actually wants you. And that maybe you feel like, you know, maybe you feel like it's just a little bit early, and that you feel uncomfortable not being able to match up with their energy. You know, that they will come in quite strong, and, you know, they will promise you things, and they will maybe give you compliments, and, you know, they will be, you know, trying a little bit too hard, and this might well, this might either make you feel suspicious, if somebody tells you that they want to give you the world, that sort of thing, that's suspicious, because first of all, nobody can give somebody the world. They don't own the world. So, they should promise away something that they actually own, give a list of their property or their belongings and offer some of that, like promise that instead, like something that you actually have. That would be like a little bit more binding, and it would also be a promise that someone can actually take seriously instead of this world nonsense. But the thing is that I feel like this person might say something that is, it's not because it's an empty promise, even though it sounds that way, because, this person is going to, give you a lot of cliches, but they just know that this sort of thing might work, or they have maybe heard somebody else say it, and that person was successful in getting someone to fall in love with them, so they thought, okay, I'm going to use that person's tricks because that works. And it's just because this person just really wants you to say yes. They want you to feel what they feel for you, and so yes, they're going to come in too strong, and yes, it's a little bit, it's hard to take this seriously, because this person is going to say so many things that are a little bit cringy, but again, it's, I think you can, first of all, I think you can believe this person, not necessarily all the promises, because some of them are ridiculous, but you can believe this person's energy, like this person's efforts, and what they want, like their intentions with this is clear. They want to be with you, and they have thought about this for a long time, and they have built courage to, like, so it's just it's the way they do it. It's a little bit weird, but other than that, I don't think there's any, like, that's not a red flag, not in this case. This person is just really bad with the whole romance stuff. They don't know how to talk to women, or men if you're a man. But it's just, so yeah, of course now I've been talking a lot about the possibility that this could be a love offer. And the thing is, like, I just want one more point, and that is that, I'm also sensing that some of you might say no to this person, maybe because you are in a situationship right now, and, you need to get out of that. Get rid of somebody who doesn't want to commit to you, doesn't want to put a label on whatever's going on with you two, like that sort of thing. That's just immature, childish behavior, and you need to just remove yourself from that energy, because you don't deserve that. That shit is, like, you can't have that in your life, and you need to end it with that person, because you need to just tell that person, this is not going to work out. And the thing is that if you want to move on, you need to let something go. You need to make up space for something good to come into your life. And this person who's going to come in with a love offer in September, this person seems to be someone who could fill up that space if you want to. Like, if you want to give this person a chance. But I'm also sensing that for some of you, maybe it's not a situationship, maybe it's just because you're afraid that you can't match this person's energy, and that maybe you're afraid that you're going to be the asshole here, that you're afraid that if you lead this person on and then find out that you can't actually develop feelings for this person, that it's going to make it worse for them. And I understand that logic too. But I still feel like you need to give this person a chance, because I think this person would actually value you trying more than you just refusing right away, So I don't think, like, if you're doing it for them, for their sake, so that they don't get their heart broken, I don't think you're doing the right thing, because, you're going to devastate them by just saying no right away. So But you should, of course, do whatever you feel like doing. I'm just saying that, think about it, you know. But if it's not a love offer, if it's a job offer, I feel like it's kind of the same thing, you know. I feel like you're gonna get an offer that is, you know, maybe not the offer that you want, but it's the offer that you need. You know, it's the offer that's actually gonna fulfill whatever you're looking for, but it might not be the dream job. You might be waiting for getting the answer from some company or something that where you really want to work. Like this is your dream. But the thing is that maybe the dream is something where, you know, even though it's the dream company, it might not be the dream position. You know, you might get like a secretary position at a company that you really want to work at, and so, you know, it's one win, but one is lost too, because it's not the right job. And then you're just going to be, you know, fetching coffee for some assholes that could easily be fetching coffee for themselves, and then you would be, you know, printing out copies for people who could easily just press print on their computer like that. Of course, there's not a print button, but you know that it's just one, like that. It's not really complicated, but that it's just that sometimes, you know, you can end up with a job where you just feel like a servant. You know, you feel like what is this? You know what? And that's kind of the and I feel like maybe the job that you like. If I have to translate it to the earlier thing that I was channeling about the love thing, and I feel like it's actually pretty much the same, is that I feel like the job that you actually want is a situationship, you know, kind of like like a job situationship, where it's like you're gonna be there and you're gonna feel like you're a part of something, and it's there's something that you actually want to be a part of, but you're gonna be like not really sure if you are, you know, are you actually a part of the team, or are they just, you know, using you, or what is actually going on here? Like, is it like there is no label, there's no, you know, promise for a future, like that sort of thing. So try not to get your hopes up on the dream job that you want. I know that you should of course go for your dream, but there might be another, I'm sensing another offer coming through, and this offer, even though it's not the company that you want, even though it's not, you know, the field that you necessarily want to work in, but it's a job that actually gives you, you know, gives you the opportunity to use your skills, use your talents, get some praise, get people to actually tell you that you're doing a good job and that you actually have a future there in the company, and that they actually want you there. And, you know, it's a little bit like, you know, so it's a Mr. Reliable job, but it's a good job. Like, it's a safe space. It feels like it could be a really good thing for you, and it might be exactly what you need right now. So I feel like you shouldn't say no to that offer just because it's not your dream job. I think you need to do it anyways. You know, just say yes, and yeah. And then, of course, if you try it out and it's not for you, then, you know, then you can start looking for something else. But I feel like it's worth it to give it a chance. And if you have a job right now, but you're kind of thinking about changing it, maybe because you're already in that situationship job, if that makes sense, you know, like the job where you feel like there's not a label, where you feel like there's no promise for the future, and that you just feel like you're being used and being taken advantage of, and people are just kind of using you to do the things that they are too lazy to do, that sort of thing. If you know that nobody's like, I feel like I am also sensing something in this reading, and that is that you need to leave something behind. You know, you need to end something for a new chapter to begin. And I feel like that that is also a common denominator I'm sensing for all of you, is that in September you need to leave something behind. You need to let go of something in order for something new to begin, in order to make space for something much more you, something where you feel like you can blossom and thrive. But I'm going to shuffle and see what the cards have to say. So what's going to happen in September? King of Coins, Mr. Reliable. That is Mr. Reliable. So I feel like that's the energy of September, is that you need to focus your energy on Mr. Reliable, because Mr. Reliable wants what's best for you. And it could also be Mrs. Reliable. It doesn't have a gender. It's just a concept that you need to let something in that is safe, secure, something that won't hurt you, something where you are being valued for who you are, and where you are like, don't get uncomfortable when people compliment you, because when you do a good job, you deserve to be praised for that. And also in terms of dating, if you do a good job, sorry, yeah, I guess in that sense too, like well, that makes no sense, but like, but in terms of dating, somebody who is praising you for the way you look, you did a good job with that too, you know, like that, you know, you can get credit for the way you look too, because maybe you've put a lot of work into it, and you know, that sort of thing. It's nice to get praise. It's like nice to get a compliment, and you know, it's don't let your, like, don't feel cringy over that. Don't like, let people. Okay, so I feel like you need to let people treat you nicely, you know, and don't run away screaming when somebody's trying to be nice to you, you know. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more about what's gonna happen in September 2024. Okay, it's a little bit too many cards, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. So, okay. With the Hanged Man reversed, I feel like, you know, oh, Queen of Coins is also here. So Mrs. Reliable is also here. So if you're looking for a Mrs. Reliable, that is also, like, it's also confirmation that's also what you need to look for. So the Hanged Man reversed. You know, it's a good card. It's a card that means that you need to get your finger out, you know, like you need to change your situation, because at the moment I think you might be a little bit stagnated in one situation where you feel like where you feel like you can't get out of it because you feel stuck in it, but there is a way out. And you need, there really is something, like, it seems like this chapter that you're in right now, in August and like in the beginning of September, like this situation or this chapter, it needs to end, because, you know, you have gotten everything out of this chapter. It is like the ending is near, and you need to start a new one. Like, there's a new chapter for you, and this next chapter, it's going to be more like, it's, you know, it's going to be more in alignment with you. And I think you need to give yourself over to this change. And you need to also set the record straight, or you need to tell people, the people who are not serving their purpose in terms of, like, not that okay, that was a weird way to word it, but people who are taking more, like with the justice reversed, it seems like there is an imbalance in give and take, that you are giving more to something in your life, and this thing or this person is just taking whatever you're giving, not returning anything back to you. And so you need to let go of this, because this is just draining you and you're not getting anywhere, because this person seems to be, quite ungrateful for whatever you're doing for them. And this could also be in terms of your job, that if it's a job, then, you need to, like, you need to remember that, you can actually also claim something, like demand something from your workplace, in terms of, you don't have to always be the servant. You can, like, sometimes, the squeaky wheel gets the most oil. So, if you make yourself heard, make yourself known by telling people that, okay, or telling your boss, or telling somebody that, this is all great, whatever is I'm doing, and that's fine, but it could be nice to have a challenge. It could be nice to do something that is a little, like, something where I can, use my skills, use my experience from the past, from past jobs, things like that, where it might be, time to demand that you're being valued for your experience and your skills. And if you don't go get anywhere with this, like if you feel like it's just a dead end and nobody's actually listening, then it's time to move on and find a place where you are actually being valued for your skills and talents. So, and it's the same thing if it's about love. It's the same thing. If you're not being valued for you, if you're not being valued for your efforts and the time that you're putting into this, you need to let go of this relationship or situationship that you're in right now. Or if you're dating someone who is, not texting you back, and where you feel like you're the only one who's actually trying to, get together, that, that you're the only one who's inviting them to go somewhere, or like something like that. And, it's just a one-way street. And, that sort of thing, it can never translate to an actual committed relationship anyways, because, then, like, even if this person has feelings for you, which is likely, I don't know, like the situationship that like if you're in a situationship right now, I feel like there is something going on, there is some chemistry here, but if this person doesn't, grow up, you can't, you can't keep going, you can't be with a child. Like that's just creepy. And, this person is like a 30-year-old child, and it's never gonna change. So I don't know how old this person is, but I just feel like this person is too old to be acting this way. And so, yeah, with the Knight of Swords, I'm sensing, you need to make a decision. Whether you're gonna want to move forward and try something new, or if you're gonna stay in this, this limbo where you're being, pushed back and forth, never really knowing if you actually have like a place to land on, whether you're always going to be in this, you know, floating thing where it's just like you need to have a ground, like somewhere that you can place your feet. And I feel like you don't have that at the moment, because everything seems a little bit chaotic, and you don't know if you're sold or if you're you know, bought or sold, or like that. You don't know where you are in terms of, you know, labeling, and that I think you need a clear answer. And yeah, I'm gonna shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a little bit more information about what's going to happen in September 2024. You're going to get a letter. You're going to get an offer. There's something that you're going to get. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be like there is something new coming in. You're going to get either a written letter, like an offer on where it's a letter, but you know, it could also just like, it's a message. It's something that you're going to get. It seems a little bit formal, so it could be like an email telling you that that somebody has something for you, but it could also be an offer, like, you know, in terms of a love offer. Then maybe somebody's going to tell you how they feel about you over text, and that might be because this person is, you know, nervous. You know, they don't know how to say it in person, and take that as a very green flag. Even though it's said over text, it's not a bad thing. It means that, you know, this person just really wants to be able to say whatever's on their mind without having the nerves stopping them from making sense. Because sometimes that happens, and sometimes we end up saying things that we regret later because it was said, you know, with the completely wrong words. So, you know, it's a good thing. And, you know, take this letter, take this message, and, you know, really think about it. Don't decline this. Don't refuse it. Not at first. You need to think about this, because like, I'm going to tell you that however unappealing this might sound, I'm going to tell you quite positively, I'm quite positive about this, that this is actually a good offer. And that you're also going to recognize that there actually is more to this, and that this is serious, and that this is actually somebody who really wants to give you something that, you know, that not a lot of people are selfless enough to want to give either themselves over to another person, which could be the fact, like, that could be the thing if this is a love offer. But also if it's a job offer, it feels very genuine. It feels like this person, you know, really wants you because they see something in you, they see potential in you. And so, you know, it's important that you think about this. So I don't know, I'm going to shuffle one more card just to get a little bit more information about what's going to happen in September 2024. Okay, yeah, so money reversed. Don't let this scare you, but, you know, with change, like, especially if you're going to have some changes in terms of your job situation, changes will lead to, you know, a little bit of a period where, like, if you're gonna end your job, for instance, because you feel like, you know, this is not working out for you anymore, of course, yeah, it might mean that you're gonna have to be looking for a new job, and that this, you know, this might not come right away, but it's maybe going to come in the end of September. But if you, of course, if you end your job in the beginning of September and then only get one in the end of September, then of course there will be a time period where you're not getting money, like that you're so. But I feel like, you know, with that sacrifice is nothing. It's not a big sacrifice to actually feel wanted and needed and feel valued and feel like you're actually making a difference and you're doing something that you find important and you're doing something that you can tell is making a difference. And it's just, you know, it's okay. You know, money. Also, if you change your job from one job to another job, and you know, if that other job pays you less than the job that you currently have or the job that you used to have, you know, again, it's not. I don't think it's that big of a deal, because at least you're doing something that means something to you, and that you feel like these people, like you're making a difference for these people and also the people that you work with. And you know, that sort of like, there's going to be a different dynamic. You're going to feel more at home. You're going to feel like you actually want to go to work, because it actually feels like you're being valued, and you feel like it's actually so, like, when you're sick, you're going to feel such a, you're going to feel sad about it, because you're going to feel like, you know, you want to be there, and you're going to be worried that, you know, that the people that are going to, you know, have a hard time when you're not there, because, you know, you're going to be valued so much. People are going to, you know, tell you every day that, you know, that it's so good that you're there. Like, not necessarily every day. It would also get old if they told you that every day. But it's just that it feels like a more validating place. Not that people should only take a job for the validation, but, you know, it's just that it's nice to feel wanted and needed. You know, so yeah. So I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and have a great day. And yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And yeah, thank you and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose this Cirque du Tarot deck, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question for group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3? What's going to happen in September 2024 for group number 3? Okay, I'm sensing that during the weekends, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to be a little bit more spontaneous, and you're going to do things, you know, fun things with some people that you are very close to, and people who you will also get closer to after this, like after these weekends that you're going to spend with them. Like, it's going to really tighten the bond between you and these people. And, you know, it's going to be very entertaining. I feel like you're going to maybe go clubbing, or, you know, or go to like some kind of comedy club, or maybe karaoke club, that's a kind of comedy too, you know. So also it could be like some kind of festival thing. I don't know. I just feel like you're gonna be doing something very entertaining, and I feel like you need that, because I feel like your everyday life, your job, your studies, or like if you're studying something, or if you, I don't know, I feel like some of you are working, some of you are studying. I feel like it can get a little bit repetitive, whatever you're doing in your everyday life. It's like you do the same thing every day, and it's kind of repetitive. I don't know if some of you maybe work with autistic children. It might be why it needs to be like the routine needs to be there. But of course, it could also be any type of job where there is like a routine that you have to follow, and every day needs to be the same. But I also feel like there's a lot of meltdowns. You know, if you work with autistic children or something like that, or just people, you know, people have meltdowns. People have good days and bad days, and there might be some thing. Like I feel like most of you work with people. Probably, I don't know. Like, well, some of you could work with something different, but I just feel like there's a lot of, you know, going from one extreme to the other a little bit, where, you know, you're very bored for most of the time, possibly. You know, it's a dull job. It's always the same thing. It's very repetitive and automatic. Like you're just working automatically. Like your brain is just kind of off, and you just do things, you know, through kind of muscle memory or something. I don't know. But then, you know, there's a meltdown. There's something that you have to take care of, and then you, like, your mind might be kind of going from you know, yeah, from kind of being turned off to suddenly being on, like, you know, really on this, I don't know, like a really high level of awareness, because you have to be, you know, you have to be very focused because you have to take care of this, you know. So I feel like because of this, because of your job, it is really important that you use the weekends and do something fun, do something where you can be, you know, where you can just have a blast with the people that you love. And so I think it's a necessity in the line of work that you have. But I feel like also with the weekends being so fun, I feel like it's like you're gonna also feel like the weekends are like over, like this, like that. It's just like they just pass you by, and you like, it's like you just blink and then it's Monday already, and you feel like yesterday it was Friday, and how did that happen? And so of course time goes faster when we are having fun, but it's also very unfair, because you know, you want to cherish every moment, but you can't, because it's just over so soon. But yeah, I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards have to say. Five of Swords. So with the Five of Swords, you know, I am sensing that you need to make the most of it, you know. And September, it's going to be a blend of, you know, sometimes you're going to feel like, you know, like time is just you know, it's just so slow, and you feel like maybe you're also kind of in need of validation at your job, where you feel like you're maybe working a lot without really, like maybe you work alone sometimes, where you feel like, you know, there's not even somebody here to pat me on the back and tell me that I did this very well. You know, that is sometimes it's hard when you don't when you don't have any witnesses to the things that you do. So, you know, sometimes it's going to feel like, you know, some battles were maybe won, but they were won a little bit poorly, where you're going to feel like, you know, you had some, like there was maybe a meltdown, or someone that needed your attention and needed you to do something for them, or like at your workplace, like somebody who was really in need of help, and you did everything you could to help that person, and you acted really quickly to address the situation, and you did what you thought that was the right thing at the moment. Of course, maybe later, not because I feel like anybody's going to tell you that, but I think you're going to tell yourself that, you know, maybe I could have done things differently. What if I had just, you know, done this or that, then, you know, maybe the outcome would have been better. But, you know, I think it's just, when there's no witnesses, I feel like maybe there might be some things where you're going to take care of this alone, because somebody else is somewhere else, like maybe your co-workers are all doing something differently, and like, or some other things at like somewhere else, and they're doing it, they're outside the room, and you're just there and taking care of it on your own. And you know, the thing is that if somebody was there to witness what you did, you would have been patted on the back. But the thing is that nobody was there, so you're going to question yourself. You're going to ask yourself, did I do the right thing? Could I have done things differently? Was this the right way to go about this issue? And, you know, you need to stop doing that. You need to stop second guessing yourself, because, you know, you're just acting out of the you know, out of your intuition and what you feel is the right thing to do in the moment, and you need to just trust that you did the right thing. So yeah, it is like, I feel like your job is hard, you know, it is a difficult job. Not everybody's cut out to do this, so you need to remember that it's not like that. There's a lot of people who would look at your job and say, you know, I would like this, I would never be able to do that. And, you know, you need to remember that you're doing something that not a lot of people would be able to do. And so it's just important. I know that I'm repeating myself, but I just really want you to remember this. So don't second guess yourself. You're doing a good job. So yeah. And if you look at this card, I haven't shown you the card. This is how the card looks. And, you know, it's somebody who's like strapped to you know, the wheel, and you know, but the thing is that, you know, all these, like the swords have not actually, you know, like they have missed him. And, you know, you need to also remember, as a professional, you know what you're doing. You're always going to miss. If you throw a sword at a person in the circus, you know, like that sort of thing, like you have the expertise to miss the person. And, like, I don't know if that metaphor works, but, you know, I feel like you just have to trust yourself, and don't get so stressed over your job. I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like I feel like you get validation for your job, just you feel like you might not believe it, because sometimes you do things that other people don't see, so you're afraid that, you know, they only give you validation for what they can see, so you feel like maybe there's a whole blind spot that they don't recognize, and that but the thing is that they validate you not just for what they see, but also from like what they can sense, in terms of, you know, people don't have to see everything in order to know that you're a good employee and that you're doing your job very well. You know, they don't have to witness you doing everything. They can just see the impact that your work has. And so they value you based on that, like the result that they can see. So I don't know if that, I'm gonna shuffle it. Ah, damn it. Okay, it fell to the floor. It might mean something, you know, it might mean that it's something that you need to get rid of, because you need to just throw it away. That's why it fell to the floor. It's kind of like a, you know, yeah, something that you need to leave behind or something. And it's Eight of Swords reversed. So Eight of Swords reversed, you know, it's somebody who's in a, like when it's upright, it's somebody who's in a spider web, and the spider, like the spiders are here, and the spiders are about to, you know, eat the person, because it's, you know, yeah. It's reversed though, so, you know, but, and it's something that you still need to get rid of. So it's, you need to get rid of feeling like you always have to be there when things when shit hits the fan. That sometimes you might feel like you're a little bit too passive. That sometimes you feel like you're not hands-on enough, and that sometimes, because this card here, I'm not reading the imagery, I'm just reading the Eight of Swords reversed. When Eight of Swords is upright, it's someone who is staying at home. When it's reversed, it's somebody who is, you know, going, you know, every time there's something, this person wants to be there, because this person is too scared not to be there, because they're afraid that if I'm not there, either people will feel like I'm not doing my job, or that people feel like they see me being passive, and they see me not taking action, and that's gonna reflect very badly on me. Or if this has nothing to do with job related stuff, then it could be that, you know, sometimes you might feel like if you don't go to a party or go out with your friends, or if somebody asks you out go clubbing, even though I said that I think you need to be a little bit more spontaneous and do a lot of fun things, but if there is an offer coming through in September that you really don't want to say yes to, because maybe you're just tired, maybe you just need to relax a little bit, and, you know, maybe you just need to watch a fun TV show because that's maybe the only thing you're in the mood for, you know, you can say no, because, you know, just because you don't just because you don't go to one thing, people are not going to forget about you just because you're not always available. Like, and people are not going to stop inviting you just because you say no one time, and it's not going to reflect badly on you. It's not the people are not going to give you a hard time because of this. They might jokingly give you a hard time, but other than that, like they're not gonna, it's not gonna be so serious, you know? So don't say yes to everything if you don't want to, but like pick and choose what you want to do. And yeah, and also if it's job related, you know, you are very hands-on. You are somebody who is, you know, very attentive, very aware of what's going on around you, and you are always there if shit hits the fan. And you need to ask yourself, why are you the only person who's always there? Like, why are the other people, like the other employees, they're never there to witness you, and this frustrates you that they're never there to witness you whenever you are dealing with something. But you know, you also need to ask yourself, why is that? That's because they are not there. Like they're not in the moment. They're not, you know, in that moment helping you. So, you know, I feel like you internalize that and make it about about a lack that you have somehow, like, or that maybe sometimes you're even happy that, oh God, it's good that nobody saw me take care of this, because, you know, maybe they would have an opinion about how I took care of this situation. But the thing is that, you know, you need to analyze this. You need to recognize that these people, they also just walk away every time there's something that they can't handle, and they leave it to you to handle it. And it's also a big trust that they put in you, that they know that you're going to take care of it and that you're going to do a good job about it. So, but the thing is that you don't have to. You can also be one of those people who just walk away. You can like, of course, you would never do that because you couldn't handle being. I feel like you would feel bad about neglecting somebody who needs your help, of course. But there are some people that you work with who don't give a fuck, and that you need to recognize that you're a very good employee and that they should be very happy to have you. And so never second guess yourself. Don't think that you're not good enough for the job. You're overqualified for the job, if anything, you know. So I'm going to shuffle, and yeah, house reversed. So don't buy a house in September. Not a good idea. If you are thinking about, you know, renting a new place, signing, you know, some contract or something to a house or an apartment, anything like that, try to push it to October instead of September, because in September it might not be the best month to buy a house. I feel like it's just not a great month for that. Of course, some of you might not even be thinking about that, but maybe you're thinking about moving, and I feel like you need to give the place that you live in right now a little bit of a chance. I know that maybe you're a little bit tired of it, or maybe you feel like it's too small, or that you feel like it's kind of claustrophobic, or I don't know how you feel, or maybe you feel like it has a strange smell, or that you're worried that it's not a healthy place to live or something. Just, you know, I feel like 1 month here and there, like it's not gonna kill you. And I just feel like there's no good options for you in September, but there might be an opening in October for something that is actually more worthwhile, something where you could actually spend your money somewhere where you would get more for your coin, you know, like it would just make more sense. So yeah, wait with that. Also, I'm okay, this is a little bit different, but I feel like there might be somebody in your life. I feel like this person could be a Leo. And I feel like this person needs maybe a little bit of attention. I know you are busy with your job and you have plans for the weekend and like that sort of thing. But this person might be a little bit overwhelmed right now. This person is doing a lot of things at once and juggling a lot of things at once, and it's just it might be nice for this person to just get a phone call, just to have somebody ask this person, how are you doing? Like, are you up to all this? Like, the things that you're doing right now, is it too much? Or is there something that I can do to lift this burden off your shoulders? Is there something I can do? You need to just tell me if there is something, and just know that I'm there for you. Like, just say something like that to this person, because I feel like it really matters for this person. And I feel like it could be a Leo. It could also be some kind of fire sign. I'm just getting Leo energy here. But okay, Scholar reversed. So, you know, if you're studying right now, I think you need to ask yourself whether this is the right thing. I'm not gonna plant any doubt in your mind, but I just feel like many of you are a little bit bored. That was what I was getting in the channeling in the beginning, was this bored energy, like that you were and I was getting that mostly for those of you who study, because I feel like you're maybe studying something that has never really been your passion. And I'm not saying that people need to study something that's their passion. I know that there are a lot of educations that you get that you like that isn't anybody's passion. Like, there's no one who's necessarily super passionate about, I don't know, you know, plumbing, you know, but it's still like people get that, go to school and become a plumber. And, you know, we don't have to always have a passion for whatever we do, or for whatever education we decide to take. But, you know, it just feels like maybe you're a little bit too bored with this. And I don't know if you're losing your passion in it, and maybe you used to have more passion for this, but it's starting to maybe become a little bit more of a chore, like something that you just do because you have to. And if that's how you feel, maybe ask yourself whether there's something else that could be more interesting, like something where it wouldn't feel like a chore. I feel like you need to maybe brainstorm about it, you know, see if there could be, like, see if you're also studying this for the right reasons. If you're studying it because you feel like it's going to give you a good job when you're done, that's a valid reason. But is it the right reason for you? Like, would it give you meaning in life to do this job if it's just a well-paying job that you are only choosing for the income? Is it going to give you that life purpose energy? That, like, is it going to make you feel like this is a calling, or is it just something that's like only meant for a paycheck? You know, like that. You know, just. And also ask yourself if there might have been an outside influence that might have, you know, maybe convinced you to choose this path, and maybe you're just doing it to make that person happy. And if that is the case, you need to do something that will make you happy, because you're the one who's going to have to live your life, not them. So yeah. And sometimes, you know, when you start a new education, like the idea of that education is maybe a little bit better than how it is when you actually start doing it. That maybe like it's okay to be disappointed and feel like, okay, this is actually not what I thought it would be, and that's okay. It's better to get to that realization sooner than later, you know. I'm going to shuffle some of these archetype cards just to get a little bit more information about what's going to happen in September 2024 for you. Okay, God. And, you know, nothing at all. But, you know, it's kind of, you know, all or nothing here. But that's okay. I feel like it is also kind of all or nothing. You know, because there's a balance. Like, it's like, you know, you're going to feel like, okay, nothing is happening. And then suddenly everything is happening. And, you know, that it's like, it feels like, you know, it would be nicer if things were more, you know, spread out evenly, but you know, you can't always choose. So with a God here, it says benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. I feel like you should be working with people. I think you should be like, I feel like you need to find something within the field, like a humanitarian field, because I think, yeah, I think you're just really good with people, and I think you recognize a lot of things in others that maybe other people don't see. That I think you're like you know people. You're good at analyzing. You're good at seeing through people and seeing also through the reactions that they have. You know, that some people might react very badly, and that this might come across as very offensive to some people, or it might seem very aggressive to some people, and people want to, you know, walk away because they feel like, oh, that person's behavior is just so, you know, so violent and uncomfortable, and that some people push people away, and I think maybe you can see past the tough exterior and see that you know, this is just a person who's very frustrated. This is a person who hasn't channeled this aggression into the right things. That this person just needs to find something that can give them a feeling of being good enough. And I don't know if this makes sense, but I feel like you could also work really well with like, if you wanted, like, if you're wondering what kind of field you want to work in, I think some of you already have found it. But if you're still wondering, I think you need to maybe work with children who have, you know, behavioral issues. You know, children who are aggressive, or, you know, like people, yeah, children who might have, you know, anger issues, or might throw a tantrum, you know, every time they don't, like every time they get frustrated, or every time there is something going against them. But it might be something rooted in, like, there could be so many other things that might be causing this behavior. And it's not just that maybe, like, maybe other people who don't know the kid, or can't see the kid for who it is, you know, might see it as spoiled behavior, or like that kid is just, the kid just rules everybody, and there's just a need of control that the kid has, that they're just controlling everyone and being a brat or something. But you might see that this is a frustrated child, and that the child could be frustrated for many reasons, because maybe because of some diagnosis, or because even because of dyslexia. Like sometimes kids can be very aggressive in school, you know, because they can't, like, because they feel inadequate, because they feel like they have low self-esteem, because they feel like, you know, every second they feel like people are going to notice, people are going to know that they can't really follow what's happening at the blackboard, like that this fear of being outed as dumb, or not like everybody else, or like something like that, or like not outed as dumb because they're not dumb, but you know, that they're afraid that people are going to think they are dumb when they realize how behind they are, or something like that. There might be so many other things going on. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but you know, I'm just sensing that you are good with children, good with working with, like, that you're good at working with children, and that you could really make a difference in working with children, and show them that, like, this compassion that they need, and this understanding that they need, you know. So, and yeah, so you are a very compassionate person. Don't forget that. You are very good at, like, if you have a job right now where you work with children, you're very good at it. And you should never second guess yourself, never doubt that you're doing the right thing, because I feel like you have the greatest judgment when it comes to knowing what is the right approach. You choose the right one every time. And don't think that, okay, what if I did this, or what if I did that? It wouldn't have made a difference, because you did the right thing. And, you know, we all also act out of something a little bit more, you know, divine, like a divine intervention. Sometimes we make a decision where, you know, if we think a few seconds after we do it, if we think, okay, I should have done something differently, you know, we would have done that if it was only our brain that would have chosen this. But we had the intuitive feeling that we were supposed to do it the other way around, like that we were supposed to do this differently. And so trust that that there's, you know, of course you can think about it, and you can maybe learn from your experiences. I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn from the experiences, like if you feel like it could have been done differently, but I just feel like sometimes you just beat yourself in the head over something that actually couldn't have been done differently. And if you had done it differently, it might have been, like, the outcome might have been terrible. Like, it would have been, you know, much worse. So just know that you're enough. You're good enough at what you do. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to end the reading here. I don't know if some of you feel like there might be something else that you want to know something about, maybe love or something. Maybe I'm going to just, you know, shuffle one card. I know that, you know, the time, like, I've spent a lot of time on this, and I know that, but I'm just, like, I just really want to make everybody happy. So if there is something you want to know about love, I'm going to try to see if I can ask the cards what's going to happen in terms of love for group number 3 in September. Justice. I feel like there is going to be, like, if you're in a relationship right now, I feel like there's going to be, like, a fair feeling of like everything being balanced, like that there's a balance between give and take, that you're not going to feel like you're the only one putting effort into this, if you're single, I feel like, you know, maybe at the moment it's like more focus on your career and focus on having a good time with your friends during the weekends. Friends, family, and job. I feel like that's the 3 things that you need to focus on. I feel like love is maybe something that, you know, that might not happen, that like it might not happen in this month, not in September, but you know, don't lose hope that it's going to happen. It's just that, you know, when the universe can sense that you have a lot going on, they're not going to put another burden on you. And they're going to say, okay, yeah, you know, okay, if you're like, you don't have space, you don't have room for more input, let's just leave you to it so that you can, so that you don't get overwhelmed, so that you can take care of everything that's important in your life. And then like when you relieve some of that space in your life, you're gonna have like you need to make room and show the universe that you're making room, that you're making space for love to come in. But you need to show that in order for that to be materialized into your life. In order to manifest that, you need to be able to show that you can maybe down prioritize certain things, get rid of certain things from your life. But right now, I feel like all the things that you have in your life are actually very important. So I don't think there's anything to take out. So, you know, as long as it feels that way, as long as as everything is so important that it can't be left behind, then, you know, just let things let things happen in divine timing. Now is not the time for love if you're single, but if you're in a relationship, I feel like things are going to be dandy, you know, everything's going to be fine. So that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was somewhat helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose the Book of Thoth Tarot, and I'm going to start with some channeling, and then I'm going to shuffle the cards for you. So I'm going to do the channeling now. So Spirit, can you answer this question? For group number 4, the people who will choose group number 4, what's going to happen in September 2024 for group number 4? Okay, I'm sensing that some of you are going to have a spiritual awakening. Like I feel like there's something that you're going to realize that you're able to do. And I feel like this is going to happen quite randomly, like that you're just going to find out that you can do something, that either in terms of mediumship or channeling. But I feel like it's just going to be, like it's going to be quite fascinating. And I feel like it's going to inspire you to look more into spirituality and, you know, look up ways to perfect this craft. And I feel like you're going to be quite passionate about this newly discovered ability that you're going to have. And if, like I said, some of you, and that's because I feel like this is a new thing for some of you. For others of you, I feel like you already have spiritual abilities. So it's not new. But I feel like in September, you're gonna be perfecting your craft and realize in the process, realize that you could actually do something that maybe you didn't realize before that you could do. That maybe you know that you're maybe you know that you're clairvoyant, but you didn't know that you were clairaudient, and maybe you're gonna see a new side to that, and just suddenly realize that you can also do that. And like there might be something new to discover. There might also be something in terms of automatic writing or something that you're gonna find out that you can do. So I feel like you're gonna open up for like a new dimension of things within your craft. Like it's still within the same craft that you have, but it's just a new room, a new space that you're gonna be opening a door into, and it's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna shuffle. Okay. Okay, with the 9 of Cups reversed. It says sincerity, and so the upright version of this card says victory, while the reversed is sincerity. And so I feel like there's also going to be like a part of you that feels like, you know, you're going to be quite humbled by your new experience. It's not humbling in a bad way, but humbling in a good way, where you feel like, you know, you're a part of something bigger, and you're just a messenger. You're just like somebody who is meant to, serve a purpose. But it's not really about you. It's more about what Spirit can do through you. But that it's a great thing that you have found this new thing that Spirit can also use you for. So it's just opening up new possibility for Spirit to use you as a soldier, not a soldier, but, you know, as an employee, I guess. Like you only work here. Like you're not the one calling the shots, but you know that it's just sometimes it's a very freeing experience to just feel like, you know, I just work here. Like this is, you all can come at me, but I'm just the employee. I'm just the one sitting at the counter. You know, I'm not the one who sets the prices, or, you know, that it's quite freeing to know that feeling. So and know that you're not all that, but that you are still something, but you're something to the Spirit, because you are like you are being used. And of course you wouldn't be used if it wasn't because you were a good person to use for this for this purpose. So you know, I'm going to shuffle. So with the Justice reversed, so, you know, this is also Libra reversed. The Libra energy being reversed, and you know, the opposite of the Libra energy would maybe be someone who isn't too caught up. Not that I know that there's a lot to Libras, and I love Libras. I know a lot of very, very good Libras out there, and I'm just gonna say this, but you know, there is that stereotype of the Libra being a little bit interested in aesthetics and, you know, how things look. And, you know, I feel like since this is reversed, maybe in September you're not going to be so caught up in how things look, how things are perceived. You know, you're not so focused on the aesthetics or like making things appear a certain way, that you're maybe just more important, like more you're more caught up in what's on the inside. You know, also in terms of the people around you, and maybe also in terms of dating. Like if you're single, you know, I think maybe you have a better chance finding love in September if you look more into the inner values of a person. But I feel like you're also just going to do that naturally, because I feel like you're not going to be so focused on the aesthetics. You don't care about how people look. And, you know, maybe you're also kind of bored with looks and appearances and, you know, keeping up appearances and doing things just for the gram and stuff like that, that it just doesn't interest you at all. And maybe it used to a little bit, but now I feel like you're just kind of done with that, especially in September. It might change in October again, I don't know, but, you know, it feels like it's going to be a very a very unaesthetically pleasing month, where you kind of do some things you don't care if it's a little bit ugly. You know, like you're not going to care about, like, you know, if you write a letter to somebody, you're not going to think about constantly writing it in the most beautiful way, like that sort of thing. Like, it doesn't matter, it just needs to be written fast and then out with it, you know. That is more important. The message is much more important than the calligraphy. I don't remember the name of that. You know, the how it's written. Okay, so, you know, it says voyage, so, you know, there is a journey. You're gonna have a journey in September. It feels like an inner journey. It doesn't feel like an outer journey. Like, it could be that maybe some of you are, you know, going traveling. If you are, I feel like even if you're going out traveling, I don't think you're gonna be that focused on, you know, taking a lot of pictures, doing a lot of things where you're like, you're not going to be documenting the whole thing. It's more like, you know, you want to just have that experience. You want to talk to people, local people there. Like, you want to feel the culture. You want to feel how it feels to be in this environment. You don't care about the photos, because, you know, everybody can take a photo of the Eiffel Tower, but it's, you know, you can also go on Google, and you, like, if you just Google Eiffel Tower, you're going to get like the exact image of, you know, that, you know, yeah, of the Eiffel Tower from the same angle, from the same, like, what's the point? And like, why is it important to take another picture of that? Like, I kind of felt a little bit robbed, because, you know, I went to Neuschwanstein, the castle, and, you know, I took a picture and I put it on Instagram, and, you know, it looks exactly like all other pictures of Neuschwanstein on Instagram. Like, it's the same angle, like, it's the same angle, same everything, same lighting, same like, it's just the same. Like, you know, what's the point, really? You know, But I feel like you're, like, if you're going traveling in September, I feel like you're going to be more focused on the experience. But I'm also getting that many of you are just going to go traveling within yourself. Maybe also, astro traveling or something. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more. Okay. So, with the Page of Wands, I feel like, in September, you're going to be quite passionate. I think you're also going to find a passion within the spiritual, but maybe also within religion, or like a kind of interest. Maybe you're going to have like a newfound interest in something, like a new thing. Like it might not have anything to do with spirituality or psychic abilities, because like this thing, like even though I feel like many of you are going to be quite interested in the spiritual sides of things, but it's just that I feel like there might be like something that's going to catch your attention, and it's something that maybe has never really never really felt in any way like it made that much of an impact on you, like maybe, but it's just you're going to see it from a different perspective, and maybe somebody's going to kind of inspire you also to kind of look into this. Like it could have something to do with math or finances or economy or something like that. You're just suddenly gonna feel like, okay, this is quite interesting to look into. But it could also be something else. I just feel like it could be it could be something about making an equation about something something human, like something about like making a formula for human behavior or something that trying to maybe blend the two, blend philosophy and math, which has been done a lot of times, so it's not a new concept, but it's still interesting. It always seems to be interesting to do that, and so if you're going to find some kind of like, even though it has been done before, it needs to be done again. I feel like I think that would be that needs to be investigated, and I think if you can do it, then you should do it. So, but I feel like that's a very specific message for some of you. For others of you, like it feels like it could have something to do with alchemy or something like that, and I feel like it's just very interesting. So this card, it says retard, and I don't quite know the word, what it means, but I know what it means when it's medication. It's something that has like a slow, like something that's a slow burner, like something that releases like a little bit in, like I know that because I have had medication that was a retard, but it's just a slow medication, because and so I feel like that could mean something symbolically about September maybe being a little bit slow. Like you're not going to be slow, but the September month is going to be a little bit slow. And that it's going to feel like a slow burner, that feels like, you know, there's like, you know, something is released sometimes and you feel like, oh, this is interesting. I'm very passionate about this and it's fun, and, you know, but then maybe there's going to be times where you feel a little bit like, you know, time is standing still right now. Like, you know, like this is very stagnant energy, but that you're going to feel that sometimes, but then you're going to have this, like a little bit of an epiphany, and then, you know, like, and that's going to make you spike, like you're going to feel like, whoa, yeah. And then you got kind of go a little bit back to status quo, being a little bit like, okay, you know, but we need to also get down to earth a little bit and, you know, do the mundane things that we have to do every day in order to survive. But then you're going to, you know, have a little bit of spare time, and then you're going to do something that you're passionate with, and then, or passionate about. And then, you know, it's just going to be a little bit of a slow release of passion. That's not going to be released all at once, because nobody has time for that. We can't just hyper focus on one thing for like a whole week or 2 weeks without, you know, also doing some things that are practical and, you know, things that we need to do. Yeah. You're not a retard though. Like, just so you know, like, it's not about that. It's about like this is French, right? Yeah. So it's a French word for something that I don't know. I feel like it's something about slow release, but could also be something else. But, you know, I'm not good with languages, so let's just say that this is my intuitive reading of this card. So I'm going to shuffle some of these Gypsy Oracle cards just to get a little bit more information about what's going to happen in September 2024 for group number 4. Wedding reversed. So no wedding. So if you're invited to a wedding in September, there might be something that's going to get in the way of that. So maybe you're not going to go, or maybe you're going to get sick or something, and that's kind of a bummer. Like if you're going to get the flu right before a wedding or something. But I feel like that's actually not going to resonate with most of you, because I feel like you're not actually invited to a wedding in September. It's also a weird month to have a wedding anyways, and I feel like they should have it maybe in another, like at another time anyways, if they are I don't know, but if you're if this has nothing to do with an actual wedding, I feel like it could just mean that, you know, in terms of your love life, there might not be like the big prospects to commitment. Like, so if you're in like some kind of situationship right now, if you're dating somebody and you haven't really, you know, put a label on whatever you are together, like that you have something going on, but it's a thing, but, you know, not more than a thing. You know, you don't want to be a thing with somebody like that sort of, like that's just, you know, that's immature and, you know, childish, and you need to be with someone who actually wants to be committed to you. And so if you are in some kind of situation like that, remove yourself from that agony. Like, there's no reason to keep yourself in that pain. You know, it's just kind. It's kind of masochistic in a way, like you know, don't put yourself through that. Like, don't, like, find somebody who is, you know, like, I know it's really hard And I like, it's hard to find somebody who has good intentions and who actually wants to commit and all of that, you know. It feels like a rare gem that seems to, you know, yeah, you can't really find that person on, or like, it seems really hard to find that person, but the person is out there, not on Tinder. Don't find this person on Tinder. That was what I was going to say. Even though I have sometimes told you guys that you need to go on Tinder, but, you know, I just feel like for this group, Tinder is not the answer. I don't think you're going to find this rare gem who is for you, by the way. I feel like this person is out there. You just need to find this person, like, by maybe going out, go to a bar, go to a club, maybe go to like some kind of, you know, convention or lecture, or, you know, some kind of event where, you know, where you meet people who are maybe like-minded, people who have the same interests as you, possibly, you know. It could be interesting. It could be interesting to maybe go to some kind of holistic convention or something where it's like, it's in your, like, within like something that has something to do with your hobbies. Not that you need to find somebody who has the same hobbies as you. Of course, that is not necessary. But I feel like it would be a good thing, though, because, you know, being a spiritual, being a psychic, like, it is kind of difficult to find someone in the conventional dating scene who is gonna find that attractive, you know, because most, especially men, they don't get it, and they, like, yeah, they have some precautions. They don't like it when when women are into astrology or tarot or something like that. And that's, I'm just talking out of experience, because, you know, I've gotten a lot of rejections because of, you know, my job. It is a big cock blocker. I'm just gonna say it, like, you know, it makes it 10 times harder. But like, not the cock, but the journey is very hard. It's very, yeah. But it is what it is. And, you know, I think the only way to maybe find some kind of relief from this obstacle is to maybe find somebody who has the same interests. Someone who is kind of open, at least open to spirituality and open to alternative healing, alternative medicine, or something like that, because that might be a sign that that person is open-minded and won't see your spiritual side as a problem, you know. So I'm just saying that maybe, you know, yeah, maybe also date some people who have studied religious studies at the university, or philosophy or something like that, even though it's not, like, they tend to have a little bit more of a spiritual side to them, and it's a little bit more open to people having different beliefs. So okay, with the Lover reversed, it seems like, you know, September is not going to be the month where you find love, but it might be the month where you start maybe finding the right path in order to find love. Like, that you are maybe going to be inspired to look for love in the right places, but even though you're in the right places, you might not find the one, you know, that one person who's going to be good for you, who's going to be there for you. Like that person is maybe not going to be there in September, and that's okay, because that person can come in October or November, or so it's all about waiting for the right person, to meet the right person. But you need to still go out searching, because the person is not going to magically knock on your door. You need to go out there and be in the right places at the right time, because even though there is that divine timing, but you also have to work with the divine timing, and you have to place yourself in the right places, because that's on you, but the timing is maybe, that's not something that you have that much control over necessarily, but the geographical aspect you have a say in, or like you can work with it, I don't know if that makes sense. But with the falseness reversed, I feel like you're not going to be false. Like you're not going to be faking anything in September, and so like you're going to be very genuine, very honest, and you're going to be very sincere in everything you do. And the thing is that maybe some of you have a little bit of that imposter syndrome, and that's very normal, especially in this line of work. If you are working with something that has to do with your spiritual abilities or psychic abilities, that sort of thing, like, because you don't get instant confirmation from something that's tangible, you get it from something intangible. And since the intangible can be a variable, like it is a variable more than it is a constant, it ends up being like a, it's hard to feel completely validated, and it's hard to feel like to be completely certain, because you also have to have like a level of humility in order to be able to do this work. So you also have to feel like that you can't go out and say that I'm right, everybody else is wrong, and I know everything, because that sort of thing, like if you come in with that sort of energy, the spirit is also going to kind of distance itself a little bit from that energy, because it's too cocky, and so. And I feel like you're going to be doing everything right. You're very humble. You're a humble servant to spirit, and you're like in September you're going to be like, I can assure you that whatever you're going to be doing in the word of God or in the word of spirit, it's all going to be genuine. It's all going to be sincere, and it's not going to be false. And so you don't have to feel like an imposter, because you're not an imposter. And so, yeah. You can do what you know you can do. And I can confirm that to you. So I can be the confirmation. I can validate you and tell you that you are on the right track. You are on your path, that is the right path for you. And, you should just keep going. Keep perfecting your craft. Don't feel like you can't use your craft until it's perfect, because, you are perfecting it by using it. You can't perfect it without using it. You have to practice it. And so, yeah. But yeah, so I feel like it's an exciting month in terms of your career and in terms of your spiritual journey, especially if your spiritual journey is linked to your career. I feel like it's a very interesting journey for you and a very interesting month for you. So But in terms of love, I have to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like love is, you know, it's not really popping through. Like it seems kind of like the cards are, yeah, saying that maybe this is not the right month for you, and that it's okay to be single, and it's better to be single than to be with somebody who doesn't respect what you do and doesn't, you know, doesn't value you for the skills and talents that you have. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you. Group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and have a great day, and bye.